There are truck stops in America so dangerous that major freight companies put them on a written blacklist, and drivers still park there every single night. Not because they do not know better, because there are 313,000 truck parking spaces in the entire United States, roughly 1 for every 11 drivers on the road. Every night, thousands of drivers have no choice but to park somewhere they already know they should not be. Starting in the last place anybody expects. Number 10. Council Bluffs, Iowa. Interstate 29 and Interstate 80. Nobody expects Iowa to open a list like this. That is exactly the point. Council Bluffs appears twice on a corporate blacklist, a formal internal document listing 82 truck stops across 20 states where a major freight company's drivers were forbidden from parking with a high-value load. 2 locations in Iowa. Cargo theft crews are not opportunists driving around looking for unlocked trailers. They are organized. They map freight corridors the way dispatchers map routes, and they know which exits concentrate loaded trucks overnight. Council Bluffs is where Interstate 29 and Interstate 80 meet on the Nebraska state line. 2 interstates, 1 river crossing, hundreds of loaded trailers stopping in the same handful of lots every night. Drivers have reported cut seals and missing pallets discovered at delivery the morning after a Council Bluffs stop. The trailer looked untouched from the outside. Nobody heard anything. Iowa feels safe. That feeling is the vulnerability. Number 9. Troutdale, Oregon. Interstate 84, exit 17. 2 locations at the same exit, both on the corporate blacklist. Troutdale sits 17 miles east of Portland, where Interstate 84 exits the Columbia Gorge. Every westbound driver running freight into Portland stops here. Every eastbound driver heading into the gorge makes a last fuel stop here. The lot fills with the same loaded trailers at the same hours every night, because the route makes it unavoidable. Theft crews do not follow trucks to Troutdale. They wait at the one exit every truck on this corridor eventually uses. Trailers staged for morning dock appointments are the primary target. Doors get popped while the driver is inside. By the time he returns, the crew is gone, and the trailer looks exactly as he left it. Get 20 miles past Troutdale before you shut down. 20 miles buys a lot of anonymity on a route this predictable. Number 8. Bolingbrook, Illinois. Interstate 55. Illinois cargo theft more than doubled in a single year. 6% of all national incidents in the first quarter of 2025. 13% in the first quarter of 2026. 45% of everything stolen was electronics. Covenant Transport, a major national carrier, forbade its drivers from parking at the independent stop on Interstate 55 in Bolingbrook by name, not by area, not by city, by the name of one specific location. That specificity only comes from a loss that already happened. The crews here know what is in your trailer before you left the shipper. Chicago is the largest rail and road interchange in North America. Freight sits waiting on both systems constantly, and the crews have mapped every distribution center in the area. Drivers have reported trailers entered silently overnight, with no sign of forced entry. If you are loaded out of Chicagoland with anything that has a screen on it, do not take your first stop for at least 200 miles. Number 7. Fulton Industrial Boulevard, Atlanta, Georgia. Overhaul, one of the largest cargo security firms in the country, named this road specifically in its driver guidance. Not a neighborhood, not a zip code, the street. Fulton Industrial runs along Atlanta's west side off Interstate 20. Warehouses and distribution centers whose gates do not open until 8 in the morning. Drivers arriving for early dock appointments park on the street and wait overnight. The crews have been working this street long enough to know exactly which buildings ship which products. They clock trailers at loading docks during the day, follow them to their overnight spot, and work them after midnight. Drivers have reported entire pallet loads removed from locked trailers while parked here. Seals cut and replaced. The theft not discovered until the dock the next morning. Overhaul's guidance is direct. Do not stage on this road under any circumstances. Number 6. Hutchins, Texas. Interstate 20 and Interstate 45. Texas has 15 locations on that 82-stop blacklist, more than any other state. Hutchins is where Interstate 45 meets Interstate 20 on the south side of Dallas. Large stops, easy access, fuel, food, showers. On paper, exactly what a driver needs. In practice, one of the most consistently targeted freight corridors in the state. The theft at Hutchins often does not happen in Hutchins. It is planned there. Crews identify trailers coming off Dallas distribution centers, note the load and the truck, then decide, hit it overnight where it sits, or follow it up the road to somewhere quieter. In several documented cases, drivers were followed out of Hutchins and robbed at their next stop further down the interstate. Do not take your first stop within 200 miles of a major Dallas shipper with a hot load. Number 5. Ontario and Fontana, California. Interstate 10 and Interstate 15. This is the most active cargo theft corridor in the United States. Not one of the most active. The most active. California accounted for 36% of all cargo theft incidents nationwide in the first quarter of 2026. Fontana, Ontario, and Rancho Cucamonga record the highest concentration of theft of any area in the country, driven by the distribution centers along Interstate 10, feeding out of the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach. The average stolen load hit $273,990 in 2025, up 36% in a single year. The crews are selecting specific shipments: RAM modules, storage drives, fiber optic transceivers, enterprise server blades. A single trailer of enterprise electronics can clear $1 million moving as ordinary dry freight with nothing on the outside to indicate what is inside. Except the crew already knows, because they were at the port when it was unloaded. Number 4. Hesperia, California. Highway 395 and Joshua Street. This one has nothing to do with cargo. It involves a driver who got out of his truck. January 6, 2026. 4:50 in the afternoon. A busy pilot travel center on a major highway in broad daylight. A man approached the window and asked the driver to step out and look at something. The driver got out. They walked between two parked semis. The suspect pulled a weapon, marched him to the ATM, forced a cash withdrawal, robbed him, and threatened him. When the driver returned to his truck, 4 more men were already inside. 5 people, total, in daylight. The driver was selected, watched, and approached with a method specifically designed to get him out of the cab without resistance. You do not get out of your truck for a stranger, not because a tire looks flat, not to help with directions. You call through the window and point them toward the building. Number 3. Elizabeth and Newark, New Jersey. Turnpike exits 13 and 13A. New Jersey cargo theft rose 50% across 2025. In the first quarter of 2026, California, Texas, and New Jersey together accounted for more than half of all cargo theft activity in the entire country. The New York metro area is simultaneously the hunting ground and the market. A stolen load does not need to travel anywhere. 20 million potential buyers within an hour of those exits. The crews here have a specialty that sounds absurd until it is your trailer: meat and seafood. A reefer full of protein has no serial number, no tracking chip, and a restaurant supply contact who will take delivery tonight. The trap is the staging. You pull into a yard off the turnpike waiting on a port berth. The reefer hums through the night like a dinner bell. Number 2. West Memphis, Arkansas. Interstate 40 and Interstate 55. West Memphis has been on drivers' personal avoid lists for 50 years. There are drivers who first marked those exits as dangerous in 1976 and have never taken them off. In March 2026, Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders signed Act 322, declaring Arkansas to be under a cargo theft emergency with up to 10 years of enhanced penalty for convicted offenders. A state government does not declare a freight crime emergency for routine policy reasons. Interstate 40 and Interstate 55 both cross the Mississippi River at West Memphis. Every truck running between the Southeast and the Midwest passes through that choke point. The crews have operated in those lots for decades. Drivers who have parked there report the same experience. A knock on the cab door in the middle of the night. Not someone asking for help. Someone checking whether anyone is inside before they start working the trailer. Number 1. 3371 Lamar Avenue, Memphis, Tennessee. The most dangerous truck stop in America has a street number. In 2024, the parent company of Bath & Body Works issued a formal written warning to its drivers about this Love's Travel stop because of the volume of break-ins. Memphis Police Department data showed more than 140 truck break-ins investigated at this single address in the previous 12 months. One every 2 to 3 days. All year. On New Year's Eve, 2024, a robbery in that lot ended with a man shot to death. In May 2025, Memphis PD responded to a shooting there around 11 at night. In July 2025, a suspect climbed directly into a driver's cab and took his wallet off the dashboard while the driver was inside the building. While national cargo theft declined for the first time since 2021, Memphis rose 27%. Tennessee reached 12% of all national incidents. The FBI named Memphis as one of 4 national priority zones alongside Miami, Chicago, and the New Jersey ports. It has its own dedicated FBI cargo theft task force. Now look across the river, West Memphis. Number 2 on this list. For 50 years, drivers crossed that bridge believing the far side was the safe side. The river was never the fence. If your route takes you through Memphis, deliver and drive. Put distance between you and Lamar Avenue before you shut down. Do not take your first stop within 200 miles of a major shipper with a valuable load. Do not get out of your truck for a stranger. And do not fight anyone over a parking spot. The next time you pass one of these locations, you know exactly what has happened there. And what is happening there tonight.